Good morning, everyone. Can you hear my voice clearly and see the shared screen? Okay, thank you for replying. So today we are going to start with our second session related to Power Apps view. I hope yesterday, okay, regarding the access session record, I'm getting access error. I will check that with the organizers before we start the second session. If you have any questions, go ahead. Anyone who has any question, please go ahead. We'll give a couple of minutes before we start for your questions for anything. Maybe it's correct. We'll check that with you and we'll give you access. Don't worry about that. I will check that with the organizers and come back to you with the correct answer, and you will be getting all access to everything we have recorded yesterday. You can't hear me well? Is everyone having the echo problem? Mariam is saying that she is hearing an echo. Do everyone have the same problem? Or is it clear for others? Okay, Mariam, check at your side what's the problem, because others are hearing me well. Okay? Do check what's with your environment. There might be a problem. Okay, thank you, Mariam. So today I'm going to start with Power Automate. We mentioned it yesterday and we have spoken about it yesterday, but today we are going to talk a little bit more about the Power Automate. So Power Automate, what is Power Automate? Why do we use Power Automate? And I will give you some basic examples about using Power Automate. So sometimes manual, repetitive tasks are drag you to something like to do things multiple times repetitively or manually. So you would need to do the same task more than one time. Let me answer all your questions before we get along with the course. Is it possible to obtain the? Yes, I will give you access to that. Maybe today, after we finish the session, I will ask the organizers to give you all access. Maybe there's a problem with that. I will contact them during the break and will let you know if they reply to me during the break. But do not worry, you will be accessing, you will be having the access to everything related to the session. Okay, so now I will continue with the explanation. Then we'll talk about that in the break, okay? Just skip that until the break. I will contact the organizers and we'll solve that problem for you. Do not worry. Okay? So manual, repetitive, and error-prone tasks are a drag on the strategic thinking needed to drive my business forward. What does that mean? It means that I have sometimes get stuck or lose time doing repetitive or manual tasks. So like making approvals, like moving a task from one person to another, or from one department to another. So making these things manually or repetitively takes a bit of time. Maybe sometimes it takes a lot of time. So to improve such processes on organizations in an efficient way, we need to use something like automated tasks, which is the automation. The automation or the Power Automate is made mainly for skipping or saving time whenever we need to have something repetitive, like creating an approval, like creating an email sequence coming from one to another. So we use the Power Automate. Power Automate is a very powerful tool used within Power Apps group or applications or tools to make things that we do manually or repetitively, or things like needs to be automated by a person or by a group of persons like a department. We can just simply create an automation in order to automate, in order to have seamless, secure integration, and also we can accelerate the productivity and the final result is an intelligent automation. So the automation saves times, do repetitive tasks, and maybe sometimes do a lot more than that. Because whenever I start using automation, I can save time and make the machine do the things that I should do an easy way without coming back to me, which makes me free to think about other things or do other tasks. So I use the automation to automate. Okay, so automation has a lot of tasks that it can do. It can be sending emails, reading by using also integrating artificial intelligence with automation. I can do things like text recognition that makes me takes or extract information from maybe a PDF file and take it to an email or take it to a SharePoint list and add it to other places with the great tools or connections that are integrated within Power Automate. You cannot imagine the size and the scope of the things the Power Automate can do. We have two copies of Power Automate. We have an online copy of Power Automate, and we have Power Automate Desktop. Both can do the same thing, but an additional tasks are included within Power Automate Desktop, which I can download and install on my computer. In addition to the tasks that can be done with Power Automate, I can do Power Automate locally on my computer, like copying files, creating files, recording the screen. What would I do that? Why would I do that? Maybe let's have an example. I need to teach or show a student or a client how to perform a certain task on his or her desktop. What I can do is that I start Power Automate Desktop and start recording the screen. So this recording of the screen, including doing any task or any operation, can be recorded and can be sent to the client or to the student. You might ask, why wouldn't I do screen recording in another application or an easier application? The difference is that with Power Automate, I can do recording and I can do tasks. I will show you that in a demonstration, don't worry, but it is a powerful tool that makes me do lots of things within my local computer, like things that I do usually, copying files, moving files, creating folders. I have tons of tools that I can use locally. So in brief, I have two copies or two versions of the Power Automate. One that I can access from my web browser by simply typing make dot Power Automate, sorry, Power Automate, you can see it. This is the one, make.powerautomate.com, and press on the enter. Here is the place where I can create automated tasks. I have a lot of things that I can do with Power Automate online. As you can see here, the flow has been deleted. Some of my flows has been deleted. This is a message for me. Don't worry about it. Here is the environment or the interface that from within I can create approvals. As you can see here, we have the home screen, which will take me to the automation startup screen. Here I can see, if you can see my screen well, let's automate something. What should it do? Here is the Copilot. Here is the Copilot coming to give you the support. Even if you have no idea about automation, you can tell the Power Automate Copilot what task you want to achieve, and it will help you designing and creating this automation. You might need to add or edit some of the parameters of this automation, and then you will be running this automation easily with a bit of maybe 2 or 3 steps, and you will be good and running. So, sorry, I will get back again to that screen, or let me describe or explain to you the types of or the methods of creating an automation. Here is an example, a purchase order approval. Normally, you receive an approval or an request for an order, whatever order is that. Maybe it's an order of products or order of service, whatever orders you get, you will have to pass through some departments in your management, in your sales department, whatever departments it needs to be done. The first thing is that I will receive this order. The receiving of this order, okay, is the trigger that makes this automation run. For every automation I create, there should be a trigger. Unless it is an not automated automation, which means that there are some instant, we call them instant automations, that needs to be run manually. You can create a button for that in order to run that automation. But if it is not an instant automation, it would be an automated automation or a triggered automation. The trigger might be an email received, might be a file created, might be any type of triggers. We have tons of triggers. So let's talk about a purchase order approval. What is the trigger that might run this automation? Is the receiving of an approval request. It might be by an email, it might be by a new record in a table or in a form. So the things that runs the automation is the trigger. This automation here is being run. Then it will be looking for the manager, get the manager from the 365 users, will get the manager. Then it will be starting and waiting for an approval process. This is a task that will be created by you. You set who will be approving or starting this approval. As you can see here, the approval type is approve or reject. And you can customize it. You might be asking for this approval from 1 or 2 users, or maybe 3, or a group of users, or you just need one of them to respond. So here I said the first to respond. Then it will be following things like, what is the title of this approval? It might be like let's say approval for purchase order number, blah, blah, blah. Or it might be anything or any customized thing you might name your approval or purchase approval. Maybe we're talking about another thing. It's not any purchase approval, maybe a task approval, whatever. This is up to you to customize the title of this approval. What we need to know from this screen is that I can create an approval by using the automation. The most important things to know is that I have more than one type of approvals. We have the instant approvals, we have the automated approvals or triggered approvals, and we have approvals based on time that they run on a specific time. This purchase order uses the type with a trigger. The trigger is when an purchase order is received. So when this is received by email or by any other kind of receiving areas like being created in a SharePoint list, for example, or maybe using other application. So the trigger is I have a new purchase order, if I have a new email, if I have a new request, whatever an action happens, this process will be running. As you can see here, this is the screen. As I told you, we have Power Automate works by creating flows. Here are the types: instant, automated, and scheduled. Okay, these are the three main types of Power Automated or Power Automation tasks or flows. We can see that from the main screen of the Power Automation. As you can see here, whenever I need to create, I would go to create. And here is the Copilot that is helping me to create a new approval. If I would say that I press here, I will have, as you can see, the main types of the approvals: automated cloud flow or an instant flow. As you can see here, the picture is a hand pressing on a button, which means that it needs to be triggered manually. It is not triggered automatically. And we have the scheduled cloud flow, which runs on a schedule. And this is the one that we have seen when we started at the home screen. We have described it to design it. I will go through them or give you example or two about them. And we have the desktop flow. This desktop flow runs from within your desktop. It is running from the cloud, but it will be acting on your on desktop. Also, I have another version that is will be on your desktop. I can install this version from here. We have, as you can see, the Power Automate for desktop. The Power Automate for desktop, all you need to do is run it. I have it installed. I will run it. Power Automate. Sorry. I'm typing Power Automate just simply. I will give it. Okay, it is running now. Sign in. I'm just showing you the different flavors you can see of Power Automate. I love that. I hope it is correct. It's now, this is, you can see, this is the two-factor authentication. I would need to accept it from my own mobile. In order to have the access. Why is it not showing? Let me see. No number in your app. Let me use the other account for that. I will solve it later, and I don't want to again. I'm not receiving it on my phone. Let me just skip it. I will solve that later. So this is, I will show you the desktop flow from here. What you can do, I will launch the application from here. So I can do some of the uh, uh, automation processes within my computer. I will solve it on my computer. Let me see if I can launch it from here. Trying to open up automate. Okay. Anyways, let me skip it for now. I will show it to you, don't worry. So if I need to create any type of automation, I would select what automation I would need. If it is an automated, which means that it needs a trigger to run. Instant means that I will run it manually, and scheduled cloud flow is a flow that runs on scheduled time. So let me see, give you an example about that. This is the running of this flow. It will be starting at this date. I can assign it. And at this time, how many times do I need to repeat it? Per minute, per hour, per day, per week, per second. So I can run this scheduled cloud flow. Maybe I have a task that I need to check every minute, every second, every day, every week. So this is a schedule that will run based on time. All I need to do is to set the timing and how many times do I need this to be done. About the automated cloud flow, here I can see the help of this. What's your flow name? You can call it any name. You can just skip this one and go to the design directly. But I will show you the triggers that I have when a new response is submitted, when a new item is created. These are in SharePoint. You can see the connectors with different Microsoft components. As you can see here, we have with Azure, with Gmail. It is Microsoft and non-Microsoft connectors I can use. Maybe when a new email arrives at my Gmail, I want to be notified within my Outlook email. So whenever I receive an email on my Gmail or on company's Gmail, I would need to have a notification, or it would be forwarded to my email. So all I do is select that and create the automation. As you can see, we have tons of these connectors that I can use. I will ask it when a new email arrives or when a new item is created in SharePoint. Let's have this one. I would press on create. What's your problem here? Invalid connection. There's something wrong with my environment. Let me see the SharePoint site that I have. Is it accessible? Yes, it is accessible. Let me see my lists. I select this one. Let me take this one to this address to the automation. This is the address of my SharePoint. Okay. The SharePoint name is, or the SharePoint list address, I will copy it from here. Sorry, what happened? Okay, this is the list. I will take it from here to set the SharePoint list name. Okay, so it is not connected. Let me do another one because it seems there is something wrong with my credentials again. I'm always facing this. You need premium license. Oh, okay, this is a premium. This is a problem with my license. Let me try it from another place. I have another personal SharePoint. Let me try to see if it is working. Okay, this one is working. Okay, let's just see here. Okay, we'll create a new flow. All I did is just switched from an account to another, okay? This is the creation again. I can search here when an email, as you can see, when an email is flagged, when an email arrives, whatever I can do here. Let me switch again. When a new item is created, when a new item is created in SharePoint, as you can see, they are changing dynamically regarding to what I'm writing. So I have, when an item is created in SharePoint, I press on create. Okay. Okay, this is the SharePoint. Invalid connection, update your connections to load. The same problem, there's something with the licenses. Let me see if I can update my licenses here, or I will try doing any other flow. I don't know if I can. Let me see the premium, create a new flow. Send an email. Well, I guess this one doesn't need a premium. When a new email arrives, send an email to the sender. I guess this one doesn't need any licenses. Okay, this is the trigger. When a new email arrives, send an email. When I receive a new email, I want to send an email to someone else. This is the main design. So the trigger is when a new email arrives, and the action is send an email. I will go with next. the authentication, it makes sure that I am authenticated. Whenever it gives a correct checkbox, it means that I am authenticated. I can do that. Now I would go to create a flow. Okay, this is the first part of the flow. When a new email arrives, when I press here, I can set the parameters. Okay, it is now connected to my email. That's what I want. And then I would need to set the parameters of the send email to. Here is replying to, since it's written here that is from, so it will be sending the email as a response that I received an email. An email is received. So here it will be replying to the person who the email came from, or if I need to set another email to another person, I can set the email here and I will type the object of this, the subject of this email, dear sir, dear customer, maybe it might be a lady, an email was received and we will do proper action. In this way, I am sending a confirmation that I have received an email. So whenever a person, a group of persons sends me an email and this email is received on my inbox, which is here, okay, which is, do I have anything else? Oops, sorry. So it will be sending this email to the one who sent this email to me. Okay, now let me show you other things that are the templates. Of course, you would need to do some exercises related regarding all these. As you can see here, we have tons of templates that you can use. You might need to edit some of the parameters related to that, but whenever you do that, it will be easy for you as to use these templates. Hundreds of templates we can see here. These templates are ready. All you need to see which ones is the one that is very similar to the tasks that you want, and you just go ahead and use it. As you can see here, we have send an email to the responder, get push notifications, form processing to an email. Let's go down. When an item in SharePoint list is modified, send an email, which means that you have a SharePoint and you're giving access to some persons on your organization. They might add, they might edit, they might delete. So as an administrator, you need to know what happened and who did that. You can set or create this type of template and tell it, please, whenever any one of the users that are using my SharePoint list do anything in that SharePoint list, send me an email. Of course, this would be for you. They won't be seeing that. Now it is working the connections. I hope so. Okay, here is when an item is created or modified. No, it's still not running. But as an example, it should be here taking my connectors. Maybe there is a problem with the connectors. I sent a feedback request. We'll see. So please get my profile. Who am I? And send me the email that is stating that this person or that person get the profile who did that will be, I can't see any parameters here because I am not being able to use the connector. But if this thing was going right, when I press here, I can see the users that are included within my profiles. Okay, so I can see the users here and set the parameters related to the users who did that. Then send an email. Here you can see the email. The item here is the function. We can see these functions. What are these functions? to display them or to understand them, you might need to have some programmatic uses for that. Like if I need to get a function that gets a date or gets information from any of the environment variables that I have, these functions I can use. Like here, you press on the function, you will be seeing all the functions that you need to use. This is a bit advanced, but whenever you start using the automations or you go through with another course related to automation, you will be understanding all these details. Okay, I maybe got you or explained a lot of information that are beyond this course, but I prefer that you have a good idea or a complete idea about everything, so you might not know how to decide in which of the Power Apps tools you might need to go deeper and start taking deeper. So until now, the automation, was everything clear? Do you have any questions? Was that clear for you? Okay. Here we have a no. No, all clear. Okay. I thought that you have something not clear. Anyway, let's get back to the presentation. Again, so this what we have seen about automate. Important concepts that we need. Keep these concepts in mind when building a flow. Of course, the trigger and the action. We have a trigger, one trigger for each automation. If we need to have more than one trigger, we need to do something related to the functions and to the expressions, and one or more action. But basically, we have one trigger to run the flow. Sometimes you might need to create more than one trigger. It might be like this trigger or that trigger. Okay, this is a bit advanced, but keep in mind that it can be done. Like, for example, if a new email is received or a new item is created in the SharePoint list, you would need to do the following actions. Okay, as you can see, some examples of and the types of actions you can do loops. Loops, which means that I run the same automation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. This is a kind of loop that is set by times, or maybe do this loop until I reach a certain value. These are programmable loops, like as I told you, a bit advanced. We have the switch and do until, apply to each, and we can use the expressions. So in brief, loops run an action until conditions are met. Switch identifies a single case to execute based on the evaluation input. Do until executes a block of actions until a what we call it, a specified condition is true. Like do it until mailbox receives 10 messages. Maybe do until you receive an email from X or Y or Z. Okay, apply to each. Apply to each means that each and every one of these actions should be applied for each item in the input array. I might be talking a bit like Japanese, but whenever you go with functions and expressions, you will understand a bit more what I'm talking about. These are like more programmatic kind of action, but when you go advanced with such things, you will feel satisfied because you are doing things that others do not do. You can do them in much easier way, like having the assistant of the co-pilot, But for your own satisfaction, when you start understanding these types, you would feel more relieved in order just this is for self satisfaction. When you understand these things, you would be more advanced, or you can consider yourself more advanced in a programmatic way. That's all. Can be done with the Copilot. You can just don't bother about them. Or if you like to be a kind of person who needs to know everything, you can read more about these loops, switches, until. These are, like I told you, are programmatic. These are the templates that we have talking about. The desktop flows, I will run them after the break. I will see why I am facing this problem. I will get back to them. And we'll go now with Power BI. The Power BI is the tool that is now being used like a trend. What is Power BI? Power BI is a collection of software services, applications, and connectors, of course, that work together to turn your unrelated sources of data into coherent, visually immersive, and interactive insights. What do I mean by that? Let's imagine that we have reports coming from different departments in our organization. Sales of, let's say, candies, sales of cars, uh, grades of students. We have tables and tables coming in Excel. I simply would open any Excel file and will show it to you. Let me open the Excel and see. Open. This is the Excel here. Okay. I would search for, and I have one that is called, let me open it, browse. It is on my downloads. It's Kevin Cookies Company. I will open this for you. As you can see here, this is a report that shows the sales of chocolate bars or different products related to Kevin Cookie Company. This is a report, and you can't say it is not a report, but it's a kind of a complex record or complicated report that you might not be able to show to your managers or to your clients because it is including lots of numbers, different countries. Everything you need to know is like a complex or complicated. Power BI is a visualization tool that makes this report much easier to read. Whether this report is coming from, as you can see, let me show you, whether it is coming from Excel, coming from Access, or it is coming from the web, or coming from any of the cloud services, even from Microsoft Dynamics, even with any type of SQL, which means structured data or databases that are online or offline, to be represented as a visual report that is much better and easier to be read. As you can see here, this is a report that is coming from, I don't know of which source of these, but what I care about it is that is readable, visual, and full of pictures, and can show me dashboards related to my sales team, to my students' performance, to anything. So I can have multiple sources for this dashboard, which shows the progress in visuals and numbers and in pictures. I can also add maps. I can do a lot with Power BI. So Power BI is a visualization analytical tool that helps me represent the data that I want in a visual dashboard. This is the identification of or the definition of the Power BI. Power BI is a tool also like the Power Automate. I have Power BI desktop and I have Power BI that is on the cloud, which is a service on the cloud. I can connect it to any of my resources. I can use it with any of my Power apps. I can use it with my local Office, Excel, or other sources. I can also use it with other connectors coming from the outside of my environment. So I show or display a screen just like this one. And at the back end, as you can see, we have different resources or sources. I might have one source or I can have different sources. It doesn't include me or just if I use, let's say, Excel, I have to continue only with Excel. No, I can have one dashboard connected to different sources from the same provider or from other providers. So this is in brief the introduction or the definition of Power BI. It is an analytical visualization for my data. How can I do that? I can do that in two ways. I can use the Power BI desktop or Power BI mobile or Power BI service. The desktop one is a version that I can download and install on my computer. The one that is the service mobile, it's also installed through the store. I can install it on my mobile. And the service is the one that I can use from within my websites or from within my Explorer that I have, whether it was Edge or other type of Internet Explorers. I will start with the first one, which is the service. I will open that for you. As you can see here, I need to open Power BI. As you can see, since I have opened that earlier, I will press on here. This is the Power BI. I hope I can log in. I did. If you have reports, you can see I have this report that I have already created. By the way, this report I have created from the Power BI desktop. Then I published that to the internet or to be used as a service. Okay. So this is a report, a visual report stating different things. As you can see, it is dynamic. I can, whenever, if you take a look, if I choose a country, all other boards will be changing or dynamically. I'm here on Egypt, and then I am switching to KSA, to Oman, and to United Arab Emirates. Everything related to every field here is it changing because I'm using, this is what are called the dashboards, the slices, the pie charts, the table charts, everything I might need. This is how I access my Power BI service. This is the service. Another example is the Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop. I will run it for you. This is the Power BI desktop. Okay. This is the interface of the Power BI desktop. I can open. Let me see if this is the one, the same one. Yes, I guess this is the same one. This is the same one I have shown to you. If you can see, this is the one running from my desktop, and this is the one running from my published Power BI. It is being run as a service. So this is the interface of the Power BI. How do I start creating something very simple with Power BI? The first step is to get the information. I will restart that file and I will press on new. Okay, this is the new. Okay, where do I want to get the data from? The first step is getting the data. So what am I doing here? Now I need to create a new dashboard. To create this dashboard, I need a data to build this dashboard on. So I can select from Excel or from other sources. I can press here, get data from other sources. Okay, here are the sources that I can use in order to get data from. If I have the data as an Excel or text or XML or JSON or folder, all these are coming from a local source from my computer, let's say. Okay, PDF, folder, JSON. Can select Excel, I can select any of these. I can also go with SQL Server, Oracle database. If you see here, they are categorized. The file are these. I can also connect to a SharePoint folder. A database are these. So as you can see, the power of Power BI, it can connect to different sources. Then we have the Power Platform. I can go from datasets, datamates, whatever, and the famous Dataverse that we have talked about. I can get data also from Azure. I can get data from online services and other. I can get data from any website that I might need to use. After I get the data, I would need to uh, clean this data, prepare this data to be used, and I can use it and start after cleaning this data. I can take it to the reporting area where I can create my reports by using the visual things that I want. So the first thing I would go with, then I would select the source. What source do I have? Let me just select an Excel workbook. Okay. I have many Excel sheets on my downloads. I would start with Kevin, the one that we have been using earlier that I showed to you as tables. Okay, I can have different sheets or tables here. I will show that. Okay, is this one good? Cookie sales, it is the same one, I guess. These both are the same, yes. Sheet one, I don't need it, so I would select either this one or this one, the same. I will select this one and will go to transform data, which means that before I start using this information or this data, I need to clean it, remove unnecessary fields, delete things that I do not need to use. So here I see the country field, the product field, the units sold, okay, cost per cookie, revenue, whatever I want. Maybe I can keep or I can delete. So I will select, since I have the date here, I'm just demonstrating things For you, I will remove the date. I will remove the cost. I will remove also this one. Just I'm showing you I can do that. Oh, I made a mistake. I deleted a thing that I shouldn't have deleted. Here I have the steps that I did during my data transformation. I can roll back any of the steps that I did. Okay, so this is the report. Maybe I need to change any of the titles of the fields. All I need is to double click and change it. It is product item. I will call it item. Let me say that. And also get a rollback. I will keep it as it is. I will just remove the year and the month number. I don't need it since it is mentioned. And I will remove it. So now I am satisfied with my data. Okay, one more thing I need to show to you is that I might need to change, let's say, this data field. As I can see, we can see the properties. I can manage them. It is very similar to Excel with some things that are related. Okay, I can also press on the right click. As you can see, I can remove duplicates. I can remove errors. What is this step meant to do is to clean the data before you go and create your reports. When the data is clean, you can get better results in creating these reports. So we do the data cleaning step and make sure it is done and very good results are being acquired from that. Then you can start building your reports. Okay, now let's what we do, remove the columns. I will return that, and after I am satisfied with my cleaning, all I need to do is to press on close and apply. Okay, it will be loading the information, loading the data. As you can see here, we have now the place or the area to build my reports or my visual reports or visual dashboards ready. We have three views I can see. I can see the report view. I can get back to the data view that I have, and I also have the model view. What is the model view? The model view is when I need to connect different tables. I can surely I can connect different tables using the relationships between them so that the effect of any change that will happen to any of the fields or to any of the related or connected fields will apply to other fields. Meaning that if I have one table, it is easy for me to show a report. But when I have multiple tables, I would need to connect them together by having a similar field in two tables. This is something related to relationships. I hope someday you will get more notified about tables and relationships. But what I need you to know that in this area specifically is that when I need to work with more than one table, and need to make an effect happens on both of these two tables should be connected in a way, which means that a common field should be between these two tables. Okay, now we'll go to the visualization. We can see, as you can see, these are the fields I am going to use building my visual report, but I will do that after the break in order to have our time relieved, and we can do examples and many things with that. So, like yesterday, I will give you 10 minutes break in order for you to relax, maybe to pray, maybe to do anything that you want. So before we go to the break, was everything clear till now? That's great. So 10 minutes is good for you, right? So after 10 minutes, we'll meet back and continue our course. See you then. Hello again. Let me know that you are back and ready, please. Okay, now we'll get back to what we were doing. The first thing we did was getting data, and then we did what we call data transformation. We cleaned the data that we want. Now we are ready to start creating our visual dashboard. We have a lot of visualization tools. As you can see here, we have different types of bars, chat bars. As you can see, we have the stacked, we have clustered, we have pies, we have lots of these. All we need to do is to select which of the fields that we have from within our data to set this task on, or this chart on. We'll select, let's say, the country, okay, and then we can choose the chart that we want. Automatically, it selected the countries that are related, and it created it in a visual map that shows the country. I would need to set the profit with that. So I now have a visual report that shows me a report that includes every country and the profit within that. As you see, when I drag the mouse over a country, I can see that how much profit did I get on this country. I can add any of these fields to that. Okay, but here I complicated or just made a conflict between two fields, so it didn't apply it. It is not available in this, or it is not correct to choose this one. If I need to add another visualization, let me say that I would select a new one and make it as a pie chart. As you can see here, I have a pie chart. I need to visualize in it, let me say, month name with the also the profit. It will give me these details on this month name. Why is it not showing? Let me change the, okay, I need one like this in order to show multiple fields related to that. Let me, why isn't it displaying? There is something wrong with my selection. Let me, I want to see the parameters. Let me see the fields here. Okay, this is the cost. It is now, the cost is not so important for me. I would select the profit. Okay, that is the field. Okay, with the month name. This is displaying one type. I can also use data tables if I want a table. This will show me the profit per month. As you can see, this is a type. I can make it smaller, and I want to show you one important type, which is the slicer. I press on an empty area and add a slicer. What is the slicer? It is like a filtering, auto filtering for country. I would add also the country, and we'll try to see things, how it changes to Canada. Everything I do will be reflected on both of these. These are maybe the most important or the most used ones for showing data. As you can see here, it is taking me to the country, and this change is reflecting on all of the dashboards that I have created. I have a lot of things that I can manage or show within these. If I need to create a new calculated measure, which is like a function that I need to do, I write this function here. This is a bit advanced, as I told you, but I need to show you everything related to that. Let's say that I am now done with this dashboard, and I need to publish this dashboard to my own website or to my environment website. I would press on publish. I will save the changes first. I will call it like this. I will give it a name. Okay, where am I saving that? I will save it on my D drive. Okay. Now it needs to connect to my destination, which is the SharePoint that I have. I have my own workspace. Of course, this is done when I start the Power BI desktop. I should connect this local or this desktop version to my online SharePoint site. Got it? And now I can see that published into my own SharePoint site. I can access it from the internet. So what other tools I would show you is the settings here. Let me go with a bit of the settings that you might be using. Options and settings. Here are the data source settings where you can add or edit or get information for your resources. These are the permissions that you might set for this Power BI. You can change the source. As you see, this is the one that we have created, and the source was my Kevin Cookies company. I will not change that. I'm just demonstrating things that you might need to do. In the view, you can change some of the views. You can change the themes. Okay, in the modeling, we can get back maybe to our tables to edit them, to edit something, to add something like that. And also, again, let me tell you one thing about the options. Okay, here are the options that you might need to see some configuration. Some of them is the most important of them is the security, and maybe regional settings is also important. You might need to change the language. So this is in brief the things that are so important for you to know as basic understanding of the Power BI. Again, I will show you another example. I will go with File, New, and get data from a website. This is very important to you. Maybe you are creating a report for something for statistics. Let's try to see if I can get data from Wikipedia. I will go to get data. Just a demonstration, a quick demonstration about that. And we'll go to the web. I can search here, or I find web here on other. It is the first one, or I can search here and select the source that I want. Web, connect to the web. Here you will have to write the website address that you want to use. I will try to go to Wikipedia. And go to Wikipedia here. Let's just try to get any example from Wikipedia, and I will type population of world. This is the world population. Here I might have a table. Current world population, as you can see, this is a table that I might be using. Let's see if I get this address. I will take it from here to Power BI source. I will press on here and press on OK. It will automatically extract the tables on this website and will show me I will check on the tables. I want to see the table that suits me. As you can see here, we have tons of tables that are extracted from this website. There should be one that contains all the values that I want. No, it is not this one. There should be a table that contains, we have seen on the website. I need to see which one, the one I want. Yes, I guess this is the one. Let's just say this is the one that I want. But let me just first check other tables. Okay, this one. And I will go to transform data. I'm giving you this example to remind you to refresh your memory. Maybe this is the data that I want. Anyway, is this good or not? Let's just, this is by year. How much did the growth happen? I will remove this column. I'm doing that just to remind you about the steps. Okay. And remove this one or keep it. Just close and apply. Okay. Now the table is loaded. I can see the global. As I told you, this is the population. As you can see here, this is a summation. This is an automated field that has been created. Okay. I'll press on it. The sum of the population. It is creating an automatic dashboard for that. Maybe I don't like this one. I can change it. Okay. I need to just select whatever I want from these tables that I want. As you can see, this one combines all the fields of the reports that are coming from this one. Okay, this is another example I gave to you. I hope that you got the basics of Power BI. So the first important thing is to get data, then transform the data or clean the data. Then we'll move to the third part, which I can create my dashboards. I can do whatever I want with this information. Okay, as you can see here, I changed to map because I guess, in my opinion, it is the best one that can show me what I want from this information. It is showing in a visual dashboard. So this is in brief Power BI. Of course, you have lots to learn more about Power BI. All I need from you is to start working on examples that you have, and you can come back to me whenever you want. Just send me on the chat later or on my email, whatever you want, and I will be more than happy to help you. So, about Power BI, do you have any questions before we move to the next thing? Is everything clear for you till now? Are the main steps clear and everything is fine? Okay, I will fix that for you. Don't worry about this. Don't worry. I will see a way that you can contact me, and maybe we can extend the chat for this meeting or create a room for that. Don't worry about that, Kevin. I will just put this note and we'll solve this. Don't worry. Okay. Any other things you might need to ask about Power BI or not? So let's move to the next thing. Okay. So getting data, I can get data from any source, Excel, databases, Azure, whatever. As you can see, we have different sources. Again, so then we transform our data, and whenever we transform our data, we get the results that we want. Of course, you have a lot to learn about visualizing, about analyzing, and then after we finish the steps of analyzing and getting the data, then visualizing the data, we should publish this report to our SharePoint site, to our website, wherever we want. Then we can start using that and collaborate with each other. Of course, you can set permissions. Sorry, for the ones who can see, or the ones who can edit, for the ones who can delete, whatever. All these security or permissions can be done. Okay, as you can see here, we have different types of insights connected, and we can see the insights coming from different sources. We can use up to 70 sources, I guess, within one Power BI report. Now we come to the last thing, or the last tool, which is the Power Agents. I just explained that yesterday, but I will go through that again with the Power Virtual Agents. Why do we use Power Virtual Agents? We use Power Virtual Agents to empower our teams by allowing them to build chatbots. So now everyone in our team, if we give the permission, the correct permission, will be able to create or build chatbots. Okay, so these chatbots can do several things. They can be just like a support agent or customer support agent. They can also be used to reduce the cost in order not to hire multiple people. Maybe this is good or bad, I don't know. Sometimes the machine takes place of some persons, but from my side of view, sometimes we need to have a low lower power or personal power or people power or human power. This is because we might not have the ability or the financial ability to hire much or more employees. So the chatbots can take the place in that area. Maybe because they can answer simple questions, they can get things much easier. Also, it can improve the customer satisfaction. So till now, we have said that Power Agents can empower the team. It can reduce the cost. One more thing, it can improve customer satisfaction. And why is that? Because the chatbot is not a human being that works on time shifts. It can be working 24/7 and it can answer 24/7 and be able to reply to any of the customers 24/7. When I design a chatbot, I need to have a study for that chatbot. What will that chatbot do? And this study implies doing some statistical or gathering some statistical information. Like maybe I always have some repetitive questions coming from different users about, let's say, how can I start a new file, or how can I do this, or how can I do that? Maybe I am having a service, online service, and customers need to do registration. Maybe the registration is not easy, or I am having a repetitive problem with different users trying to register. So I always get questions from different users that are the same questions. What I can do is that I can create a virtual agent and teach this agent how to answer these questions. Simply, all I need to do is to create this agent, create the topic that I want. I showed that to you yesterday, and this agent will have the power to answer. One important thing also is that you can get started very quickly. You can create it very quickly. All you need to do is to log into Power Agents, create a new agent, or we know it now as a new Copilot, and this Copilot can be created very fast and educated very fast, and it can be working directly. Okay, so all these are in addition to enabling some rich natural conversation. You can use the AI capabilities and embed them with your virtual agents, and you will give the feeling to the customers that are talking to this virtual bot as if they were dealing or talking or interacting with a human. And the more you get it to be human-like, the better it will be performing, or the better it will be giving the feeling for the one who is contacting it, that he or she is talking to a human. This is very important thing. So give your information, or give your, sorry, uh, bot or copilot the feel that makes it look as much as you can as a human by interacting. To do this, we have Microsoft Power conversational AI capabilities that you can enable to to give this effect. So you can now enable the rich conversational or natural conversation that are supported by the OpenAI in order to make your bots or your virtual agents or your copilots look human. Okay? You can also, which is very important, enable the chatbots to take actions, like chatbots that can engage with end users are great, but chatbots that can act on their behalf are even much better. So when I have a chatbot that can talk to me, it's something very good. But when I have an agent or chatbot or whatever the name is that have the ability, can do some actions, this is much more better. So with Power Virtual Agents, you can easily interact or integrate hundreds of easy to add custom connectors using Power Automate. So I can now connect Power Automate with my virtual agents. And with Power Automate, I can create tasks that are being done through a flow. So I can create this flow and allow the chatbots to create or run these flows. These flows might be like sending an email on your behalf, or maybe creating a file or creating a new item in a SharePoint list. Whatever I can do with automations, I can have the ability to make the virtual agent do it on my behalf. This thing makes the experience much better and helps for getting a better full or wonderful chatbots that are able to chat, able to answer, and able to perform tasks for you. So these are some great features as I have explained about the chatbots, so I can do lots of things. One additional thing is that I can monitor and improve the chatbot performance, which is something very great. I can see the performance, I can monitor it through the interface I have, and I can see where this chatbot was powerful and where was that chatbot weak. So I would work on that weak area to improve it and make it better for everyone. And Power Virtual Agents works hand in hand with Dynamics 365 Customer Service Insights to provide a view of your customer service operation. You can use Customer Service Insights and Power Virtual Agents together. So I have the insights coming from the users and Power Virtual Agents together to determine which topics are trending. Like, let's say, this is a statistical method. I have always questions related to topic A or topic B or topic C. Mixing the power of the insights coming from Dynamics 365, which I told you earlier, that it is an enterprise solution. Like, let me give you a practical example about that. Let's say again about Starbucks. Starbucks, I always give examples about it because they are clients for Microsoft Dynamics and they already implemented all I'm talking about. We have in Dynamics 365 a service that is called Customer Display Insights. In this insight service, automatic insights are being created by artificial intelligence. And these insights are displayed to the customer. So the customer might look at these insights and get very sensitive information like where is the most areas or countries a certain product is being sold. Where is a certain product weak? Where is, let's say, what is the most beverage sold? What is the least beverage sold? What is the type of coffee that is being ordered by this age area? Like, let's say we have clients that are registered and we have information about them, and these clients are from different ages. I have clients that are maybe, let's say, 15 years old to 18 years old, and most of these ages like to drink a beverage that is called X. Others, like people between 20 and 30, people like between 30 and 50, each of them has their own taste or their own type of drinks that they want. So automatically, the power of artificial intelligence insights can collect this information and display this information to the customer. So the customer can be able to know how to plan for the future, maybe advertisements or work plans or whatever this client wants to do. So combining this power, I have different insights coming from different sources. What I can do is that I can use these insights to empower my virtual agents. These virtual agents now have this information with them so they can, let's say, discuss things, give advices, and sometimes do some actions. This is a very high level of chatbots, but it exists and it is working in different solutions all around the world. I'm just explaining that for you in order to get an idea of how powerful we can have virtual agents. I will just again show you fastly, I showed that to you yesterday, how we can go and create a virtual agent. Now I will go to make.powerapps.com. As you can see here, I can go to more and go to chat bots. I'll do that quickly because I need to show you the Power Automate desktop. Here it is asking you to create a new chatbot. You can see create a chatbot. Sorry, what did happen? What did I do? Create a new chatbot. As you can see, chatbot is now Copilot. Okay, this is the new name. And this is the studio where you can create your own chat bot. What are you going to call this chatbot or Copilot? I will go with customer service. It will be responding in English and we'll press on create. Okay. The most important thing to know, as you can see here, you have set up your generative AI. This is the relation with artificial intelligence, generative AI services. You can connect with that. Here is this chatbot that we have here that is ready. Let's just say hello. Can it answer us? Hello, how can I help you? Where did this chatbot get this answer from? It got that from the topics. As you can see here, we have these ready-made topics, and they are ready to be working with us. If we go to open this goodbye, let's say, here are the answers that trigger the answer that I'm talking about. This is a goodbye. Let me go to the greeting, which is the hello. This is the one. If I say good afternoon, good morning, hello, hey, hi, okay, it will be answering me, hello, how can I help you today? Okay. What are the products you sell? Okay. Let me open the chat with you before I continue. Do you think that this chatbot will answer me? Let's be quick, please. The chat does not work. Oh, sorry. Do you think that this virtual agent can answer about this question? Exactly, it is a no, because it doesn't have the answer in its topic. That's excellent. That's excellent. That's excellent. So the answer is from Ahmad Abdul Qadir. I need to add a new topic for this type of question. All I need to do is go to topics and create a new topic from blank. Okay. And start with the phrases that enable this. I would do what are the products that you sell? These are the triggers. Another trigger, products. Another trigger, what do you sell? Okay, these are the phrases. Let me now close this one and save it. Okay, then now I can ask again, products. Okay, now I have the trigger enabled, but I don't have an answer. So I should need an answer. This answer would be a message. We will say, welcome to Kevin Cookies. We sell chocolate. Okay, I would save that again. And whenever I need to restart the chatbot, I have an order that says restart. Okay, are you sure? Yes, I am restarting this product. Okay, hello again. Hello. Hello again. Products. Welcome to Kevin Cookies. So as you can see here, I can build the topic that I want, and then it will be working as I want. Of course, again, I say that you need to do a lot of training and a lot of making some examples and some exercises to know how to make this powerful more and more. But here are the basics. All I need to do is to create the topics in order to give this chatbot the ability to answer. As you can see here, we can have multiple things that can be asking a question, asking with an adaptive card, add a condition, a variable, whatever that I want. And I can, as I told you, call an action, which is an automation that I have created. So this is in brief how to create a bot. These are the basics of creating a bot. Okay, was that clear? Do you need to have any explanation related to that? Any more explanations? And regarding the questions or the chat, I will ask the organizers to create a room for us in order to chat with me whenever you need any questions. I'm always available from let me 8 till 4 in Beirut time. You can calculate that with Dubai time or whatever you can be your area coming from. Can it be connected to DB and find answer without using question and answer concept? You mean a database that will be giving the answers? Please let me know if you mean a database that includes a question and answer and it extract answer from there. Is that what you mean, Ahmad? I really didn't understand what you mean, but you can create files or connect it to files in Word documents or other types of documents that can extract, that include information about, let's say, any topic, and you can create a chatbot that can answer questions coming from that source, if that's what you mean. Okay? Anyway, as I told you, I will try to see that if we can open a chat room for us and invite you all to that room and we can discuss anything that you want. Okay? Let me just try again to get back to the Power Automate on desktop. I need to try to open it. Let me choose my other account as I told you earlier. I will try with this account. Some I hope it's working. Okay, this is the Power Automate that I told you about, desktop Power Automate. Thankfully, it is running. Okay, remind me later. I can see a 1-minute video about the things that I can do. I can do Excel automations, web automations, whatever automations that I want. Here I go with new flow. ESE, I will call it flow. Create this flow. Okay. Here is the studio where I can work with my desktop flows. What I can do with this, here are the categories that I can work with. If you need to do things that are locally on your computer, let me give you a quick example, which is an Excel. I would ask to launch Excel. This is the first step. It will launch Excel with a blank document. It will be opening a blank Excel document. Then, okay, I can do something like a message, okay, that display, let me off. Display message, Excel is open, Control C, Control V. It will be an information, just giving you an example about that. Then after that, I will go back to Excel. Before do that, let me run this to see what will happen. As you can see, it will be launching Excel. Okay, and then displaying a message. I will show you that it already opened Excel for me. Where is the Excel? Okay, as you can see here, it is opening Excel. So this is the first step of the automation that I have created. Then it displayed a message. And now I will stop it and will ask it to go to Excel again. I will go to Excel, cancel. I will go and close Excel. I will get it here and save. Here are the variables that are created for this flow, so you can use these variables in different actions. I'm just showing you the simplest and the fastest ways in order that you have an idea about this. Now the Excel is open. I will show you that again. It is open. This is the Excel. Then it is displaying Excel is open. Press OK. Now it will close Excel and this happened. I have lots of actions that I can do. As you can see here, we have file. Let's see. We can wait file, copy file, delete file, move file. If you need to copy files, here we can delete the steps that we do not need. I'm sorry, I will take a couple of minutes more. Here are the copy file. Okay, it will ask me what are the files that I want to copy. You can select the files that are on your computer anywhere. Let's say I need to copy database one. Okay, where do you want to put this database to drive D? Okay, and if the file exists, you can just do nothing or overwrite. This is like if you need to do a backup solution. I would press on save. I would ask it to run. Okay. And I now should go to drive D and see that the file has been copied. This is my Explorer. I will go to drive D. The file name was was a database. It should be here. Yes, this is the database one that has been copied. Lots of things you can do with files, with folders, with browsers. You can just run any browser and do anything like here, launch new Chrome. You can combine, mix and match between this and create your own desktop flows. You can even record the screen. You can even record your screen. You can do lots of things with this powerful tool. So I hope you have got information from this training and you enjoyed that. We have some questions here. Let me see, check on these questions. Okay. Can it be connected to DB and find the answer without using questions? Here, he means to take you to the resource or the file that have the information. Can it count? Not a written data statistics such as how many visitors on the page or file. Yes, it can do all that. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. But you'll need to do some combination with automations so that you can do all that you want. So I hope again that these two sessions were informative and I was clearly explaining. I'm sorry because I had flu. I sometimes uh, had to cough, but I guess you have a lot of information. You need to just reshape and reread and review these videos. And again, I will ask the operators or the organizers to create a room for us so that we can have a longer chat related to anything that you want. I hope everything was clear. So if you have any questions, please go ahead. Do not hesitate. Ask me before we end this session and tell me your evaluation about these two sessions that we had yesterday and today. Do you have anything to say? Thank you, Walid. شكرا حصة. شكرا. So again, thank you everyone. شكرا شكرا Mariam. I will send you my email in case you needed anything. This is in my email. أهلا أحلام. With that, for everyone, you will be the organizers will be sharing with you a form that you should apply about this course. You should fill about this course and the recordings. Do not worry about that. The recording will be ready and will be shared with you. So do not worry about that at all. Okay, then see you later. I hope I can see you later in other trainings. I hope that, and thank you with that. You have my email. If you need to ask anything, please contact me and I will be ready to answer you all. Thank you again and goodbye.